Hi, the project that we want to build is whenever the International Space Station is above you, I mean in your location if it is above you, then we want to say a message saying that look up, it is above you. Okay. But then you will not be able to see the ISS in the daytime. But in the night time, if there is no clouds and there is no pollution, you will be able to see it in the night time. I don't think that from Indian states we will be able to see the ISS, but still we will do the project. So what we want to find out in this particular program is whether it is a daytime or whether it is a nighttime for you. For that, we need to find out sunrise and sunset. So there is a website called sunrisesunset.org which is going to give us, go to the website, main website. So this is the main website, sunrise sunset times. So this website is giving us what is the sunrise time and what is the sunset time at a particular location. Okay, if I give the latitude and longitude of a particular location, it will give us the time of sunrise and sunset. And you can check whether it is sunrise, sunset, dusk, dawn for any location in the world. Now there is so if you go down in the website, there is API section. If you click on this API section, then it is going to give us an API here, API endpoint. So this is the API endpoint that we are going to use. Okay, so HTTP API sunrise sunset .org/JSON. So this is the API endpoint we are going to use. Now till now you have not seen parameters given to an API endpoint, but in some APIs you have to give parameters. So what are the parameters it is expecting is latitude and longitude. So what is your location? Based on it is going to say what is the sunrise and sunset time, and other are optional like date, callback, formatted is optional. And coming to formatted, it can take two values, 0 or 1. If it is 0, it means it is giving us 24-hour time. I mean time in 24 hours. If it is 1, it is giving us time in 12 hours like AM, PM. Okay, let's write the program and you'll understand more about it. Let's comment out the previous program. We will use this code later. ISS location code, we will use it later. And before starting, do one thing. First write the API endpoint. Then, so request.get. There you are going to give API endpoint. Along with the API endpoint, you are supposed to give the parameters. So here we are going to give parameters. For that we are going to write what the parameters are as a dictionary. You can specify parameters as a dictionary. So there are two mandatory parameters. What is your latitude and what is your longitude? Open the API once. So there the value of latitude is lat, which should take a float, and the value and the string that you have to specify for long is LNG and longitude is LNG, and its value should be float. So these are the key value pairs, lat and LNG. So first key is lat, which is going to be your latitude, and the second key is going to be long, LNG, which is going to be your longitude. Let's get the latitude and longitude. There is a latitude and longitude finder. So latlong.net. There is a website called latlong.net. Open the website once. Open the website. So in the latlong.net, if you provide the location, your place name like Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi, and then if you click on find, it is going to give you what is your latitude and longitude for that particular place. So we are going to copy the latitude and longitude. So these are the latitude and longitude of Hyderabad. Now we are going to pass them as parameters to the API endpoint. Now you can pass it here in the get method parameters. There is one other way to send the parameters. You can also use a question mark here, question mark followed by the parameter, and if there are more than one parameters, you can use an ampersand symbol. You can do that also, but writing a dictionary is clean. So here you can see question mark followed by latitude and longitude. But writing the dictionary will be much readable. Instead of putting everything in the URL, writing the. Now let's cache hold of the response and raise for status for any exceptions. So this line is common whenever you use URLs. For any API, you have to write raise for status so that an exception will be raised with the appropriate message if there is an error. Now the response we are going to get is in JSON. So response.json is going to give you the response that you get. Let's call it data and let's print it. Let's print the data. So basically we are going to get time and some other values. So we got the result. So it is a key value pairs. It is in key value pairs. So the outermost key is results, and inside that there is a dictionary, and inside that there is sunrise time and the sunset time. So there is some problem here. Sunrise time it is giving us 12 AM and sunset time it is giving us 12 PM. So there is some problem with the APIs. Let's go ahead with this. So if you are getting the wrong data from APIs, we can't do anything. But there is some problem is there. Sunrise is saying 12 AM and sunset is saying 12 PM. So there is some problem with it. So for this program, it doesn't affect. For your region, it might give it in a right way. So or I think we might have given latitude and longitude in a wrong manner. Just check it whether the latitude and longitude are right. But we are getting wrong answers from this. Just see what you have typed there, latitude, longitude in the program. Latitude is 17. Just see the latitude in the website. Latitude is 17, longitude is 78. So this is right. But there is some problem. But anyway, it will not affect our program. We have to just write the program here. The data that we got from the website is wrong. Let's go ahead. Let's try to get the time, sunrise time. Just check the connection. Let's get the sunrise time. So in the data, the outer key is results and the inner key is sunrise. Now this is going to give us the sunrise time. Let's try to print it. All that we want to do in this program is to get the sunrise hour and the sunset hour, so that we will know when it is day and when it is night. But the data is wrong, so not a problem. So it is, now we got the time, the sunrise time. Okay, similarly you can do the sunset time also. Now we got the sunrise time and sunset time. Just print it and show sunset time. Invalid. Okay. Date time. So now we got the sunrise time and sunset time, which are not right, but anyway, it doesn't affect the program. So what I want to see is whether this is a day or night. That depends on the current time. So in order to get the current time, we are using the date time module. So from the date time module, we will check. From the date time module, we will check what the current time is. Datetime.now is going to give us the current time. Now let's print the current time. So this is the current time it is showing. So it is showing 10:26, 10 something. So it is basically the time is 10 o'clock and 26 minutes. 10:26 is the time. But one thing that you have observed is from the API what we got is day, in the 12-hour format, AM PM format, but our current time is showing in 24-hour format. So we want to get both of them in the same format. Therefore, we can use the formatted in our API, a parameter called formatted, and set it to 0 in order to get the 24-hour format. So we are adding the optional parameter formatted and set its value to 0 so that you will get the value in 24 hours format. So now the time is in 24 hours, 0036, 1229, so it is in 24 hours. Now if you observe it, these numbers, so basically these numbers 0, 0, 12 and 10 are the actual numbers that we are interested in. These are the values, these are the times in hours. So this is 00 hours, 12 hours, 10 hours. So these times hours we are interested in so that we can guess whether it is daytime or night time. Okay. So how can we get them is, so basically there is a method called split on a string. You can use this split in order to split a string and get the list of values in it. Okay. So let's try to split it. Let's try to split the sunrise time based on T. First, let's split it using T. Sunrise dot split using T. Now we are going to get two strings in a list. So let's try to print it. Now we are going to get two strings in a list. Yes, we got two strings in a list, and this number is what I am interested in, the hours, right? Therefore, I have to go to the second element, which will be at the index 1, and again I want to split it with column. Then I am going to get the first value, which is the number that I wanted. So let's try to get the value at the first index and then split it again by using column. Then I am going to get the 0, 0, the hour at which sunrise is happening. I don't know why data is wrong. Earlier when we checked it, the data was right, but currently the data is not working. So this is the number we wanted. Now we can do the same for sunset time also. So we are directly doing this split here when we are obtained the data. So now we got the sunrise and sunset. Let's print them. So sunrise is saying 12 a.m. and sunset is saying 12 p.m. And now let's get the hour, current hour in the time now. Now you can see that sunrise is at 12 a.m., sunset is at 12 p.m. and the current time is 10. Now based on these three numbers, we can guess whether it is a day or night. The data is not right, otherwise this program will work. So if you write the program and if you get the correct data, the entire program will work. So based on these three numbers, we can guess whether it is a daytime or it is night time. If it is night time and if the ISS is in your location, International Space Station, then we will send an email saying that ISS is above you, just have a look at it. Okay, thank you. Now we know the latitude and longitude of ISS and also sunrise and sunset time of our location. So what we want to do is, when the ISS is close to us and when it is night, we want to send an email. For that, we will break this down into smaller steps. First, we will try to find out whether ISS is near us. How can we find out whether ISS is near us? Is by using the latitude and longitude of ISS and our current ISS. So if the ISS, our current location, if the ISS location is plus or minus 5 degrees of our current location, then we can say that it is in a range where it is visible. Okay. So for that we are going to use a if condition. So earlier we have written this code, if you remember, to get the ISS latitude and longitude. Now we are going to check if ISS location is 5 degrees within my location in the latitude and longitude. I will take my location, my latitude. So there is a problem in this program. The sunrise sunset website is not actually giving us the right data. So there are no alternative websites which are giving us APIs. So there are websites where you can get the sunrise sunset location, but then they are not giving us APIs. We will have to do web scraping. But if I have to do web scraping, then I need to teach you first the HTML, CSS basics, and that is a completely different topic. So this program is not going to work perfectly because of the data from sunrise sunset website. If you find any website which is giving you APIs and which is giving you data correctly, you replace it with the sunrise sunset website here. But I didn't find any. But if you find any, please do write a comment in the comments. We will change it. Okay. So now we are going to check if the ISS latitude is within plus or minus 5 range of my latitude. And we will do the same for longitude also. So we are checking if ISS latitude and longitude is within plus or minus 5. We don't need accurate locations to be visible. If it is in plus or minus 5 range, you can look up and you will be able to see a tiny spot in the sky. If the sky is clear and if there is no pollution. I don't think that in Indian states it will be visible. So I saw it once when I was in UK. So in UK it was visible, but I have not seen it in India. The sky has to be clear. So now we will put everything in a method or a function. So let's call this function as isISS overhead. Now this entire code is about finding out if the ISS is overhead, which means above you. Now if the ISS is overhead, we have to check if it is night time or not. Because in the daytime, if it is overhead, you will not be able to see it. So we have to check again if it is night time. So basically this code is going to check if the ISS is within plus or minus 5 degrees range of your location and if it is that, then it is going to return true. Now we will go to finding out whether it is night time. So we will use a function called isNight, and we will put entire code that we have written earlier in that function. And then we will check if it is night time by taking the time now with the sunrise and sunset hours. There is a small problem. Here our time now is an object. It is a time object. It is not an integer. So you cannot compare it like this. You have to convert it into hours by writing dot r. Now it will be an integer. And also you have to convert this sunrise and sunset to integers. Otherwise they are strings, because we have used split and we have got this string, right? So convert it into integers. And also ISS location has to be in floats, because we are comparing some location. Just see if it is in floats. Yeah, here it has to be in floats. ISS latitude and longitude has to be in floats, because we are doing comparison, right? So we cannot do comparison with strings. So we are converting them into floats. And anyway, mylat and mylong are already in floats. So now we got the sunrise time, sunset time, and the time now, and we can check if it is sunset. If the time is greater than sunset and less than sunrise, which means it is between sunset and sunrise, then that is night time. Then we are going to return true. Now we have two functions. One function is saying whether it is overhead or not, ISS, and the other one is saying whether it is night or not. So we will use these two functions, and if both of them are returning true, then we have to send an email saying that look up ISS is above you. If the ISS is overhead and if it is night, if both of them are true, then we have to send an email. So for sending an email, you know that we need SMTP lib. So Gmail, we are using Gmail. So the SMTP server for Gmail is smtp.gmail.com. That is the address of the SMTP server. Now we are going to create a connection, and we are going to secure it using transport layer security TLS. And we are going to send the email. So we have to log in first. For that we have to give the email ID and password. So password should be app password, not your normal password. You should give the app password. Give the app password. Sign. Generate the app password and give it. Generate the app password. Go to Gmail. It will take some time, just be patient. He's generating the app password. Okay, we'll generate the app password and again we'll continue the video. So we will generate the app password now. You have to give an app name. You can give any name there. And this is the app password we got. We can copy paste it. And using this, we can log in. And after we log in, we can send the email. Connection.send mail. You have to say from address, to address, subject, and the body. So from address is the same email ID that we are using. And to address also to the same email ID, because I am sending the email to myself to remind that there is ISS overhead. To address also same. And then the message has to have a subject and the body. Look up the ISS is going. But the problem is we cannot test this code because it is happening in the night time and it is happening when the ISS is above you. So when these two happens, then only our code is going to run. So what you can do is you can put this entire thing in a loop, in a while loop. It will continuously check in a while loop, and you can continuously check it, and you can keep the program running. Then for sure in the night you will get 2-3 emails saying that ISS is overhead. So we are going to put entire thing in a loop, while true loop, but then it is going to execute too frequently. Let us say we want to check every 1 minute. For that you can import time and you can use sleep for 60 seconds. And so we are importing time, and then we are saying time.sleep, so that this while loop will not execute too frequently, otherwise it will continuously be checking. So every 1 minute if it is checking, that is sufficient. In that 1 minute you can cache the ISS. Okay. So this is not going to work properly as of now because of the wrong data. You try to replace it with the right APIs if you find anything. Otherwise we can't do anything. We have to get the manual times. What you can do here is go up here, go down. So now that we are not getting actual times from the API, what you can do is in the sunrise and sunset you give some hard coded value. Instead of getting all this, you directly give sunrise equal to 6, sunset equal to 6. Then our program will work fine. Otherwise, with these numbers our program is not going to work fine. You do some hard coding as of now, but later when you find the APIs, you replace it. The intent of doing this program is to explain you about the APIs with parameters. Okay, so we have used APIs with parameters. That is why I am continuing this program. So if you want it to work correctly, you just hard code the numbers here, like 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. or depending on wherever you are, you find out your sunrise and sunset. Generally it is 6 and 6. Okay. So you can use 6 and 6 here, then the program will work. Okay, thank you.